It's a huge reason why they're picking him. So we
Or
can't not talk about the off the court, off the field shit. Can't just act like it's mad and just end the game. No, these are
okay,
humans. This
okay,
is
let me
money. This
rephrase
is
this
a
question then.
business, fam.
Welcome to another edition of Hits and Hoops. My name is Tyler, as always, and I'm here with my pick and roll partner, Dixon. What's good, Chicho?
What's good, fam? I see you got the living room set up. That's a rare setup.
Something a little different. Camera probably still crooked, but what are you gonna do? I'll
Not
figure it out
sure.
one day. Today, Dixon, we're gonna talk about a little bit of what's going on in the NBA. About what 20 some odd games left. And then we're going to get into an NFL exercise, talking about the top 10 picks in the draft, what those teams need to do, and then add a little bit of a prospect sprinkles on there. But before we get started, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
Let's do it.
Number one thing I wanted to bring up today is, and I don't understand why this is not a big story. To me, this is the second biggest story of the year behind Luka's trade, and I don't know why it's not being talked about as if it is
It's
not.
not.
Wembyama has a blood clot in his shoulder. Okay,
That's
when it comes to
serious.
blood clots with big men, especially, we've been whiplashed with that the worst, to my opinion.
Chris
Chris
Bosh.
Breezy was a top 15 player in the league. Let's everybody remember that, and career was cut short. And there's been numerous other um,
People sleep on that Chris Breezy after Braun left. He was a
hey,
force.
he was still we were still out right outside that maybe serious contender, but we were still there. And that was the
Facts.
year before Whiteside too. And when Whiteside started,
When
he was
Whiteside
a
joined.
really good player. He
D
was
Wade
never a
and
good player.
Dragic.
Yeah, the Drogic was peak of his powers. It was still the end of Wade.
That's an underrated Heat squad.
Hell yeah, we lost second round to the Toronto Raptors.
They
And
went
I
to the
thought
Eastern Conference Finals just to get smacked by the Cavs, like always.
and I'll never forget, bro. Since that day, since that series, I hated Kyle Lowry.
Well, he
He's
hit
like,
that half court shot game winner or game
yeah,
tie, whatever it was.
that was fucked up. So back to Wembanyama. I think this is such a big deal. Not okay. Maybe it's happened. I'm sure it's happened and been okay. But the trajectory of
It's never
Wembanyama,
happened to this kind of prospect.
this is Wembanyama I think a top.
International superstar.
Yes, he's a one of one. He's just like all the brand of KD and Giannis.
Even
He's
more
that
rare. The rarest
even.
of rare. Hey, you know in the Pokemon intro, you seen that one bird flying in the air? Like, oh shit. What the fuck kind of Pokemon is that?
Yeah.
That type of rare, fam.
So I just don't know why this is not a bigger story. And man, just because what happened to the Heat, I'm worried about this.
Hey, people gotta understand, like, it's not just the type of player, but it's the type of, health concern. This, like you said, is something that could end his career. Do you understand what that would mean if Wemby's career was cut right now? That would
He,
be immediately the most tragic sports story of all time. Immediately. I don't care about McGrady, Brandon Roy. I don't want to hear nothing about that. It's Wemby, any sport, any
he would
sport.
he would be the biggest what if of
The
all time.
biggest what if of all time, but hopefully, knock on wood, it don't come down to that. Every year they got better and better science, but that blood clot thing, is definitely concerning. I think someone else had that and came back too, though.
I think you're right also.
I forgot the exact player, but someone else did have blood clots and then came back. I think it's up to the player because it's a risk, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder I mean, I haven't done my full research on it, but I've seen enough on it to know that man, this could be pretty bad, you know?
So, what is a blood clot like? Because I'm genuinely asking.
It's when you in one of your veins or arteries, um, there's a block and
So the blood doesn't go through.
right, or it's it's chunks of whatever's in
Oh,
it.
it like clobbers up and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow, that sounds icky. Yeah, no, I was reading up on it and it said it's really like the medication
Oh,
that like
really?
thins your blood and that's why,
Right.
they really can't play.
Right, right.
So
Shout out Chris Breezy though.
yeah, shout
Um,
out Chris Busy, shout out Wemby, man. Can't see you, back on the court. Prayers up.
not to get into another dark story, but I
Hey,
want
we
to get
starting
these
with
out of the
sad
way.
news today, fam.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, these are two huge, huge things that are going that should be more talked about. Kyrie out for the season 2 nights ago, went in for a layup, and you could see it instantly, the
Yeah, it was
velocity
one
and
of
how he hit the
those.
ground.
hmm
Still shot the free throws. I don't know why that's such a big deal. Yes, players
Wait,
do
wait,
it.
wait. You can't hate on that one, fam. No, that was, bro. It's more about the symbolism, Tyler. Like some shit is deeper than just, oh, it doesn't mean nothing to the game. No, it's deeper than the game. It's to show all the young kids out there, like, you do shit the right way. You pay respect to the game. You pay respect to Mamba. Sink both free throws. And he said when he was up at one of the free throws, tears running down his face, thank you, God. So just the humility he showed in that moment and, the strength that he showed in the moment is more what it means. It's more what it represents than the actual significance of, a mid-season NBA game.
I don't see it like that, but okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. That's why like people are making a big deal out of it.
No, I know, I know.
And then another thing with Kyrie, hey, great job. At first, I was huge Kyrie fan, one of the biggest Kyrie fans, even before LeBron got there.
Oh yeah,
That Kyrie before LeBron got there was lethal. Yeah, the Cavs were ass, but he was out there cooking shit, hitting game winners. It was crazy. Obviously, when Bron got there, it turned up, but then at the end of, his relationship with Bron and Cavs, shit went downhill for Kyrie. He wanted out. He wanted to be Superman. He didn't want to be no Batman or Robin. He wanted to be the leader, his own thing, so he went to the Celtics. That shit ended sour. Went to Brooklyn. That shit ended sour. So, at this point, we were all like, yo, we're done with Kyrie. Not in terms of talent, but just in terms of leadership, in terms of, off court player and all that. Then you got him, getting into the whole stuff with the vaccine. You got him getting into the whole thing with the Amazon movie, the quote unquote anti-Semitism. So just to see him turn it around, like people aren't talking about that enough. Like since he got to Dallas, excellent role model, excellent leader, flawless, like, record of behavior. And yeah, man, I just got to give him credit where it's due on that side because I was quick to bash him for sure.
I don't think you were quick. You held in longer than a
Right,
lot of
right.
people. It's because
I
after the
was one of
Brook,
the last that had to like, damn, bro, like you did the Brooklyn one, I can't not.
the thing with like when he went to Brooklyn with Harden and KD, to me, and I know I know not so much you, but to me, it put a bad taste in my mouth because that was when, I mean, they all went there to be with the Nets, but everything they went there to be with was traded for them or had to be let
They
go.
completely destroyed that franchise.
Yeah, it looked good like on paper, but they never played. Well, there was like 12 games they played together.
Hey, but that's low key for me, one of the best teams I ever seen when them three were together. You know what I'm talking about. In the middle of the season, when they played like 10 games or something together, it was special.
But it
Yes,
was
no, I'm
this,
I'm saying I'm giving you all credit. They
yeah.
barely ever played, but people don't talk about, all right, well, let's talk about what they looked like when they played. In that little frame, let's talk about what that looked like. And that was special. So special that they had Giannis and them down 0-2. Kyrie gets injured, and then the Bucks win. And that was just Kyrie and KD. Harden was out. They
Yeah,
almost just them two were able to take out, the soon to be champions, but nah, man. It's crazy.
that was like the beginning of the I don't want to be here, trade me.
Yeah, that
Anyways,
had been
yeah,
happening for a while.
it's going back to Kyrie this season. He was playing incredible basketball when with or without Luka. He's obviously took a bigger role. Not only is AD and two or three other players on the team, Kyrie's been
Or
really had
five or
to,
six or seven. That whole team. Hey,
at
if
least
I
in the
was that
rotation.
fucking medical roster, everyone getting questioned.
Yeah.
Everything getting checked. Why is this happening? Yo, why is half our employees injured? The fuck?
Mm.
That's on y'all medical staff? It really
Or
is.
is it or is it something else? Maybe
And
some
when
bad juju from
and when you
Nico.
say something else, man, like yo, realistically speaking, this isn't just in the moment. This might be the worst season we've ever seen from an NBA franchise. Not in terms of wins and losses, just in
Just
terms
bad
of
vibes. Yeah.
L after L after L, catastrophic L's back to back to back.
It's had such a domino effect negatively.
Hey, this
This
is
is a
where the
crazy
phrase
run.
"when it rains, it pours." This is what it means.
Hmm.
For those like young boys, or maybe people have never even heard that, when it rains, it pours. It means when shit goes bad, shit goes all the way bad. First things first, obviously, the worst trade in NBA history. I'm already saying it. I don't gotta wait. Hey, when you're a futurist like me, you don't have to wait to declare these things. Worst trade in NBA history, Luka Doncic for AD. AD's first game, injured.
It was like 15 minutes he played, I think.
I think he played, it was either the first quarter or the first half, and he already had like 24 and 12. Like he was going absolutely crazy. Got injured, out for like 2 months. So we're like, okay, now it's on Kyrie. And then boom, this happens. And then just to flip that, just to transition that, who, Clifford? What makes it even worse is how Luka is looking over there in LA. Can we please talk about that?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I really like this Lakers team.
Yo, Tyler, hold on. I've actually tuned in to watch these boys. It's looking special, fam.
It is. They got some of that magic. Braun's playing great. Luka's playing great. It couldn't have been a better match.
Austin Reeves is playing fucking
Austin Reeves,
phenomenal.
yeah.
Hey, Austin Reeves be in his fucking bag. I'm gonna send you highlights. He
Oh
be in his
no,
bag
he's
work.
how he snatches his back in some of those pick and rolls. No, he's
He ain't the
nice.
most athletic.
No way,
Gotta
not
have
by
a
far.
bag if you ain't athletic. Even though, you know, he is decent athletically, but it ain't like that's what he's relying on. But man, nah, the Lakers is just, it's just that offense looks like opened up
To
like a
me,
flower.
the way LeBron's playing off the ball right now,
Thank you, buddy. It's not so much when Braun has the ball, it's when Luka has the ball, when that offense just opens up.
if you look at his box scores, and I've just noticed it because they always display it on the screen, he almost seems more efficient
Yeah.
without being even without having the ball every play. Even when they stagger, it just feels like he's got a little bit more spark. This trade put some sort of spark, some sort of jolt on LeBron's ass to me.
Rejuvenated his whole career. Might have added 2 to 3 more years on his career. And, you
So
know, on paper, the Lakers
I
are 17 and 3 in their last 20.
and this I think it was 7 in a row now.
8 and 2 with Luka Doncic.
Do you think their ceiling is champion?
Of course, they're title contenders. Gotta be. When you got two of the greatest players of all time getting together and they're still in their prime, that's the key. That's the key thing. And they're still in their prime. LeBron, at this age, can we please have a moment? Can we please hail the king? Can we please be witnesses?
Hey, 50,000 points as of last
50K
night.
points. Hey, that record ain't never getting broken, buddy. I'm sorry. It's not. Save this on YouTube for decades, fam. Centuries. It's not. But Braun to me, is looking better this year than he has the past 2 years with the Lakers. That don't make no sense, guys. Physically, like if you just know science, biology, that don't make no sense. What is it? Season 22?
Yeah, 22, 23. I mean, after 20, you
Age
kind of
what?
start
40,
losing count.
41? This is remarkable. This is crazy. It's exciting. Yeah, no, I think the Lakers are definitely contenders.
I mean, shoot, as of right now, they're second seed, and they're I think 10 games behind the Thunder, which is kind of I wouldn't expect them to surpass the Thunder,
Yeah.
but like you said, like you just mentioned, 17 and 3 the last 20.
But let me ask you though, it's two different questions. Do you think they're contenders or do you think they'll win the title? I would say yes to the first one.
I do think they're contenders, especially for how they've been playing, and you would assume the chemistry is only going to get better. The young guys that are playing big or big at moments, like Jackson Hayes. Um, this is kind of like, I wouldn't say a learning curve, but like, hey, we're gonna throw you more minutes and you have more of a responsibility. Like you do you have some LeBron magic. Like you're in a moment right now. 17-3 is no joke. If that was the beginning of the season, people would be saying this is like the best team in the league by far, right? I don't think they'd win the championship though.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. I think, like you said, they are contenders, but I still got Thunder in a best of seven. I still got Celtics in the best of seven, and I still got Cavaliers in the best of seven. That's the three teams I would have over them because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be, you know, I was very like hype on LeBron like all them years in the beginning with AD, even before they won the title.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, yo, Lakers this year, Lakers this year. They kept getting their ass beat by either the Clippers or the Nuggets. So I was like, you know what? Let me stop placing my heart on LeBron. Let me actually realize that he's not on that title run where he went 10 years in a row. And then now, like the same thing with last year. You saw the Celtics were clearly the best team all year.
By
It's
far.
obvious. It's obvious that the Thunder and the Cavs are the best teams right now. Obvious. Right after them in a tier of their own, Celtics. And then, you got everyone else under.
Should be interesting. Another team, the Warriors. Are they contenders to you?
I think the Warriors are contenders, buddy.
Me too,
I mean, dude,
unfortunately.
they're piling up
I was wrong.
wins.
I was wrong.
They're
I was wrong.
piling up wins. They're 8-1. They even have a better record. People need this isn't talked about either enough. They have a better record, the Warriors with Jimmy Butler, than the Lakers have with Luka Doncic. Lakers are 8-2 with Luka. Warriors are 8-1 with Jimmy. They're
He no,
beating teams too. Like they're not
yeah.
just whooping up on chumps. They just beat New York the other night.
Mhm.
So do I think they're contenders? Yeah, absolutely. I think Jimmy Butler is that type of player that can turn a whole franchise around. How many times have we seen him do it? The furthest Philadelphia ever got with Embiid was with Jimmy Butler. You feel me? Furthest that he got, obviously they been got was with Jimmy Butler. So I think he definitely turns franchises around, and I think he could do that. He's doing that with the Warriors.
I agree with everything you just said, man. They look good. Steph looks rejuvenated also. Jimmy, we've been known Jimmy was like this. The supporting cast is playing well.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. I do think they're a little bit under. They're a little behind the Lakers.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit
Almost enough
behind the
to put
Lakers.
them in the same group, but they're definitely behind the Lakers.
Yeah, definitely behind the Lakers. Another sneaky team that I think that possibly could make some noise is the Rockets.
Hey, first of all, I'm so proud of the Rockets. There's two teams I've been watching closely on the low, very on the low in my basement. Detroit and Houston, especially after they drafted Green and Cunningham, because I told you I've been following those two for a while.
Yeah.
And I seen, bro, they were trash year after year after year after year. So to see the Rockets turn around this year, be fifth in the West, 37-25, that's amazing to see. They're here. They got the coach Undoka from Celtics, the one that was smashing the executive's wife, the white girl, bunny hopping and shit. And he's probably been part of that whole turnaround. The good thing about them is that they just have a plethora of scorers.
They're
It's not
missing one
just
thing though, because I don't know, like the games that I've seen, and I think it was one game was OKC and several others when they came down to the wire, they just didn't have that finisher.
yeah, because they're still young.
They're so young, and
They're
I
not
think
there
that's
yet
what's
to
gonna.
close games, but they're there
They're there.
competing to the end
Yeah, they possibly could level up. I would say maybe next year, if
for
not two
sure.
years. But
And that,
they need one more piece. They need
yeah,
one more piece. I would say.
no, they got mad scores over there. Obviously Green. You got that white boy, Saguna.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster. You got Whitmore on the low, buckets. You got the rookie Shepherd, buckets. They
Really
even
like.
had Porter Jr. over there. He was giving them buckets, but now he's been transferred all over the league. He's getting buckets too over there. I forgot where he's at nowadays.
Out of all the talent on the Rockets, who would you say is your favorite talent?
Jalen Green for sure.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, he's Showtime. Yeah.
Mine is the Thompson twin. on that team for how much he's taken over the offense, and
Bro, yes. Them
he's
Thompson
been,
twins
especially
are
last
dangerous.
month or two, has been a huge leap, and they give him possessions at the end of the game to, make a
He had
play.
that game winner on Jaylen Brown a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so I like him the best, and it. I always thought Jalen Green was like, okay, he's really athletic. The team's not bad. Prior to this year, he puts up big numbers, um, but it just seems like he needs a little bit of that push. And I think Udoku gave him that push,
For sure, for
and
sure.
we saw
Nah,
that.
nah. You know who really gave him that push? His baby mama, the 45-year-old chick, the chick that been in the game for a minute. The
She
one
gave him
that's
the
the same
ultimate
age, the
push.
one that's that got a son the same age as him. That's who gave him that push. That's really who got him right.
I'll say Udoku, you say whatever her name is. But Udoku gave that same push to the Celtics when they went up a level
For sure.
with Tatum and Brown and that plethora of guys. So do the Rockets make noise this year? Probably not.
Yeah, nah, probably not, but just the season they've had thus far, bro. Check this out. The Rockets are 37 and 25 in the fifth seed, right?
Mhm.
Detroit Pistons are 35 and 27 in the fifth seed. Same exact record, same exact placement. Both
Yeah.
projects are working, and I thought they wasn't going to work. Because, like I said, Green and Cunningham's first couple years, there was no progress. They were bottom of the league 3 years in a row,
Hmm.
and I was like, God damn, like this is just going to go to shit. Like if they stay there, they're just going to be trash their whole career. So just to see both franchises turning around, it's been beautiful to see. Not gonna lie.
Another young star I know you wanted to bring up, John Morant.
Hey, Ja. Mr. Matrix, I see you, boy. Hey, we got to discuss something. This is a Hits and Hoops take exclusive. You're not going to hear this on First Take. You're not going to hear this on Nightcap. This is a Hits and Hoops exclusive right here. We got to talk about John Morant. Why do I say that? John Morant's been a winner, buddy. Fuck all the gunplay, fuck the dreads, fuck the rapper shit, standing on the cars, the highlights, the numbers. John Morant is a winner. So I want to read off a couple stats to you. The Grizzlies in 2017 and 18 went 22 and 60. Bottom of the bottom. The next year, they got a little better. 10, 11 games better, but still pretty bad. 12th in the conference. They went 33 and 49. In 2019-20, they drafted Ja. They stayed at the same record. 34 and 39. Ja's second year got a little better. Just a little bit. We taking baby steps in the beginning. It's okay. Ja's first year, he had him in the ninth place in the Western Conference. His second year, he had them in eighth place, so in the playoffs at 38 and 34. His third year, 2021-22, jumped all the way up to second place. Had them at 56 and 26. That's a great regular season team. His fifth year, had him again in second place. 51 and 31. This is where this is a sign of a winner. So you've seen the progress since he's been year after year. They get, better and better. In 2003-24, he got injured. Only played 9 games. They went 27 and 55.
Mm.
So you can't say, oh, he's just on a good team. No, he makes the team good. Because when he wasn't there, they were a bottom feeder, 13th. And this year, he got them 38 and 23 in fourth place in the Western Conference. They were second place for a while.
Yeah, they were after the last couple weeks. They
So,
slid
like,
down.
nobody's talking about this. Hits and who's John Morant. I got you, boy.
Well, also what I'm going to add to you is that, they around that time also they drafted Triple J, and
They had him
also
before Jaw.
it happened before a job, but it took. You could tell when Triple J first came in, it was going to take him a couple years,
But
and
but the thing is, Triple J was there when Jaw was out.
not
Team
when he
was
went out.
ass.
He didn't play the whole year though. He
Team
didn't
was
play the whole year.
ass.
He didn't play the whole year, and that back half of the year they tanked. But no, what I'm saying is, like you said, I'm backing you up. He makes everything go.
Yeah, for sure.
He makes everything go. I will say he's playing a little bit more efficient, not as erratic,
Team ball.
playing more team ball. You don't see too many 30, 40 point games from him anymore.
No,
You'll
he's
see
just
it.
a consistent now.
Yeah, I think he's going in for the long haul. You don't see him trying to jump over everybody anymore.
He said
I
he's
think
done.
maybe,
He's done dunking, but he'll body someone like once every 3 months.
yeah, and you could tell. And hey, if they're winning, yeah, that's a great argument to make if you're winning.
Nah, for sure. Shout out Ja.
Last thing I wanted to bring up, um, NBA related. Last night, Zion, he's been playing. I know you've been seeing it. He had 37, 4 and 6, 17 for 23. They lost to the Lakers. He slammed on someone last night. What's the future with Zion? Because obviously the Pelicans, there's no future in the horizon for what they're doing, right? With whatever they're doing, getting rid of Ingram. I mean, the team is just not what you thought it would be 2, 3 years ago. So what do you do with Zion? You already gave him the contract. You've seen, I don't know if you've seen the there's a clip of Zion saying like the Pelicans aren't letting him play as much. I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw that.
Yeah, of course they're not. That's all.
What's the future with him? Would he be a different player somewhere else? Does he need
I
to
mean,
be
bro, the future with him is the Pelicans are gonna do. They everyone just wants to see you play a full season, Zion. That's all you got to do. I don't care what uniform you have on. I don't care what city you're playing with. Everyone, including the Pelicans, including every other team in the NBA, wants to see you play at least 60 game season. And then we could seriously discuss what your future is. But for now, you're just stuck until you do that. Because what
so
team is going to want to trade their whole franchise for such an uncertainty? And then why would the Pelicans get rid of him when he's a bona fide superstar when he does play on and off the court? So, Zion, you got to play at least 60 games. You got to play a full season and do what you do when you get on that court. And then we could discuss your future.
so what if he does get traded? What is the trade value for Zion right now? If they went into the summer and said, Zion, you're on your last year or two of
I
the
give him
deal, what's the trade? What's the trade?
like two firsts.
Two first, that's it.
That's it.
I think that's what I think that even if he's playing as a superstar, I think it's that and a little bit more, even if he is
Yeah,
a
you might
superstar.
throw like a fourth. You might throw like a role player in there, but
Yeah, but
I would
that's
say
about
like
it.
around that value.
Yeah. I don't I hope we see a new Zion next year. I hope it's a new
I mean, we're
page.
seeing a new Zion now. He's been hooping.
Oh,
He's the lightest
but
he's ever been. He
but
looks super athletic, but he just got to finish the season strong. That's all you got to do. Finish the season strong. Let's
he
start
did
right now.
so we saw this story that's going on right now. He did it last year.
And then he got
Came
injured
back,
in the play-in tournament.
he got injured. He was dominant.
He was on the verge of being
Dominant.
Lakers. Hey, nobody talks about this. When Zion sees LeBron, he smells blood. Don't worry. Hey, I got y'all on the stats. Hey, I got y'all on the stats next time. When Zion sees Bron, he sees blood, scoring at least 30.
I think this is one of the last chances we can actually see if Zion is going to be a real player in the history of the NBA.
And think about it, this is also why he's been going hard because he needs to prove to the other teams out there that he is worth the trade. So when you get older, you realize these players play good when they want to. When it's contract year, when they need to prove something, when they're coming off an injury, when they need to show something, that's when they're going crazy. So Zion's doing that right now.
Turning pages. We're going to the NFL. NFL offseason is starting.
Yeah, say hi.
Combine just happened. Um, there's a little bit of motion and the free agency about to start happening. So what we're gonna do a quick exercise. We're gonna do picks 1 through 10, and you tell me what you think this team needs to turn it around, and if there's any draft prospects that you think this team should add. You don't have to mention the prospects if nothing comes to mind right now, but I'm gonna give you the floor. Pick number 10. You go first. What do the Bears need at 10?
I already got enough weapons on offense. You either need an O line or a defensive player. Preferably, maybe someone on the line.
Okay.
They got a pretty good secondary. Linebackers are decent. So I would say someone on the line, either offense or defense.
Yeah, so work in the trenches. I agree with you. For me, at 10, I think the Bears should go O line, make it a priority. I know there's about uh, 4 or 5 guys in the top, probably 20 ish, that could possibly go. So take one of those guys, add it to your line. through free agency and other moves, I think D line needs to be a priority, mainly like an edge rusher. I mean, you could use an inside guy, but an edge rusher, and I think they need to get more long-term weapons.
Yeah, for sure. Because they kind of
I,
went all in on last year.
yeah, I mean, I think more. He's long-term. I know he just got locked up
Yeah,
on a long deal, and Keenan Allen, like he might be there, he might not be there next year. Can
yeah.
you bank on it? Maybe, but you need another long-term answer, and they have Ndunze. He's going to be long-term answer,
He's
and
long
then
term. Yeah, you need
also
long term on defense.
they have a good tight end with Komet, and then they also have a decent. DeAndre Swift had a pretty good year last year,
No, he
but
fucking didn't. I'm not gonna let you do that. I
he
had him
was
on
their
fantasy.
offense.
Please, hey, please,
He was
just
their offense.
please. He was
I,
ass last year. I had him on fantasy and started
I
him
mean, I did
all
too.
year, under delivered 90% of the games.
We can disagree. Number
There's no way
nine
you're saying he had a good year. We'll
for
continue this
for the
next time.
okay on the Bears offense. Who had the best year of the Bears offense? Who was their one bright spot on the offense? Did he have a
All right,
lot of
Caleb Williams.
no, no, he wasn't. Let's move on
He
from him.
wasn't.
No, he wasn't. The only bright spot that scored points was the
He didn't score
Flynn.
points. He didn't do nothing that you're saying. He
Okay.
didn't have a good statistical season. He didn't do anything implying a good offense. He didn't influence his team. He didn't do nothing. If anything, DJ Moore and Caleb Williams had better years than him. If anything, Komet had a better year than him on at his position.
I don't think so. Going to number nine, the Saints. What do you think they should go after in this offseason?
I think all the QB is going to be taken at this point. So they desperately need a QB. I don't think they'll be able to get one.
Yeah, new head coach, Kellen Moore. They're going to be more an
I'm
offensive
gonna say
team.
the same thing here. I mean, not to sound repetitive, but O line or D line. Saints been having a good secondary for a while. I would say, staple in the O line or in the D line because they're rebuilding like long term right now. They don't even have their quarterback, so you got to get those other pieces like O line and shit.
How many more years does Kamara have, you think? I know he just signed a new deal.
What was the deal for though?
I
A
think it was
couple
like
years?
2 or 3 years. Yeah,
I say he has 2 more years.
two more.
Yeah,
I'd say so too. So I think I don't know. I can't go. I can't be think positive. You're going into the offseason with Derek Carr. I think you need to have some sort of plan long term. Let Kellen Moore figure someone out. I
yeah,
think who knows what Chris Olave's future is. I know he had what 3 concussions last year, 2 or 3. So
damn,
who knows what his long term is. No one wants to talk about him, but he's been injury riddled and he is a problem.
he's a
So
beast.
I do think they need some long term weapons, and they need to add some young defensive players. I know some of them have gotten an age. They just traded Lattimore.
Yeah.
So I think they in the draft they have anything that's available. I know we got some safeties that are pretty high in the draft, along with some younger weapons. So I like to see them go
The
that
best
direction.
that's available, that's not a quarterback.
Yeah, right. You can't reach for a quarterback. Yeah.
No. You have
Number
to wait
eight,
till next year, buddy.
number eight, the Panthers. Do you believe that Bryce is a long-term option?
Yeah, Bryce gonna be there.
Okay.
Not about long term, but for next 2 years, he's there. They gotta go with a defensive piece.
Okay.
Yeah, preferably like within those first eight. I think the secondary is pretty good, but linebacker or D line, I would say.
Okay. I would say like kind of the other way. I think they need to get uh
Weapons.
some weapons. Yeah, because Thielen's probably going to be there for more like maybe I'm just guessing another year. I know they got Xavier Leggett, which he looks promising. I don't know how often you want to keep putting Bryce underneath that much pressure. Maybe invest a little bit into the O line, but get some
Yeah,
young weapons because they're more than a year away. You know what I mean? They need a lot of talent, and
but they definitely ended the season better than they started. So
yeah, they ended going on the uprise. So it's like okay, we can make things
let's take
happen,
it
but
the next. Yep.
right, let's we got to take it to the next level. Going to New York, number 7, the Jets.
God, goddamn, Connor. If I were the Jets, I'd get an O line.
Yeah, I think that's the main priority. O line.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
so
wait a year or two for a quarterback because ain't really none going to be available at this point.
Who do you
You
think they
might be
go
able
with?
to low key get one, but I feel like they already tanked on Wilson. They tanked on Rodgers. They don't want to take a quarterback unless it's a guaranteed superstar.
That's true. Yeah, I do think they need a little bit of secondary. They need a quarterback, obviously. I'd be really interested to see who they go with. I don't know what direction they go in, honestly. At this point, I'm intrigued to see what they do during the draft. They got Brees Hall, they got Wilson, they got Sauce, so they got some youth. Add on top of that, do I want to see them do it? No, but I
At
think
skill positions, they have
they
superstars. They just need to fill in the other shit.
they need to fill in a lot of the other stuff. So going to number 6, the Raiders.
All right,
Yeah,
this is where the quarterback hunting starts. We've
yeah. So
officially reached quarterback land.
yeah, Pete Carroll's the new head coach.
We've
Yeah,
officially reached quarterback land in terms of quarterbacks that can guarantee, a change. Like they're guaranteed to be projected top five picks. So if I'm the Raiders, depends on who's there, man. I think the three top guys is Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, and the other kid, Dart.
Carter, the
No,
lineman, Penn State.
no. I'm talking about in terms of quarterbacks.
Oh yes, Dart. Yes. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you meant
No, in terms of quarterbacks, I would say those are the top three. So if you got one of them three available, when you're the Raiders, I would definitely take one.
how far do you fit? Like, how close are those three guys to you?
In terms of like comparing them to each other,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say Cam Ward's the best quarterback in this class. And it's pretty obvious, but nobody wants to admit it. I don't know why. Tape footage is there. He did shit on that field I haven't really seen a quarterback do. In terms of his composure, in terms of his movement, in terms of his arm. I think he's the best quarterback in this class. Second, I would push Shador. He gives you all the shit that's not necessarily on the field that matters a lot. All the intangibles. Leadership, composure. A lot of what you saw like with Jalen Green. Not the biggest arm. I mean, not Jalen Green. Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, I know what you meant. But yeah, I got you.
Not the biggest arm, and that's gonna wow you with some throws, but composure, leader, swagger, and he does have a pretty decent arm. More like, the Brady Montana type, where it's not a cannon, but it's accurate and it gets there. And then third, I would have the Dart kid.
Okay. When it comes to Dart, like, what is he? What are his intangibles to you?
I think he just probably the rawest out of the three. Probably needs the most development out of the three. Seems to have a lot of upside if possible, but for now, he's definitely got a lot to it. Have to develop.
Okay, I know he's been gaining a lot of steam recently as
Yeah, but I
being a
don't
head
like.
coach.
I've learned not to trust those guys that gain steam after the college football season's over. Like that means you're just impressing people at pro days with throws that don't matter.
Yeah,
So,
touche. I hear you. Going to number 5, the Jags.
I mean, here you got to go either like the top defensive player, which is like you said, that edge, Penn State, if he's still available. If Travis Hunter's available, you got to get him. That like right here, you're gonna go for the best skill position player, if or a D lineman, best non-quarterback available. You got to get it here because you got your quarterback.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. What position is he playing?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, first to ever do it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. He's
Okay.
different. He's truly different.
I agree. I think the Jags they need to go young secondary, someone that is a top defensive
But not
player.
a O line. Like, no, you need to get like
Yeah, I mean, say
explosive shit. Pause.
yeah, they need to get a top player in the draft, mainly defensively. What we're because they're picking number 5. Going to 4, the Patriots. They need weapons. They need everything.
Problem is, it's like there's not that many wide receivers that are wowing
No.
people this draft. So right here would have been perfect for the Patriots to select a top wide receiver, but it doesn't really exist here. Obviously, they're not going to get quarterback. Drake May's their guy.
Yeah.
Do you still try to go offense if you're them?
I mean, well, what are the options? You got a couple guys you got the 2 quarterbacks that are projected. You got Carter, the defensive end, which is the way I think they should go. Get
Defense.
the get the defensive end, and spend all your money on weapons. I mean, they're gonna have to overpay. We know that. And you have Vrabel now. He's a
I think I've heard
he's
that
a
they're
proven head
trying to.
coach.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
He's
Vrabel's
a
a great
proven
head
head coach.
coach.
So they have Christian Gonzalez on the outside with a couple other, promising pieces. They could be a decent team if they nail this draft. If they get Carter,
Or
they
Hunter.
or Hunter.
Yeah, no, I've heard that they're trying their best to make a move through trading to get a receiver. Like I heard they're desperately trying their best to get a receiver, so it doesn't seem like they'll get one through the draft. It seems like they're gonna try to make some offseason moves to get a receiver, but through the draft, it's either Travis or Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State.
Yeah, you seen a picture of him and Chop next to each other,
Nah,
bro? They look like they're almost twins.
really?
Yeah, he played with him last year.
Oh wow, that's a nasty D line.
That's crazy, right?
That's insane.
Number two. Oh, I just want to add on to
No,
what you were saying is they need everything, weapons, defensive players, but they also need to address the O line and free agency. They need a
yeah, for sure, for sure.
block May because he was under pressure
Yeah, they need to work on that.
a trillion times last year. The Giants. What do they do here? What do the Giants do?
Hey, Giants. Hey, this is all you gotta do. Hey, I don't even gotta say nothing. Watch this. Giants, who do you draft? What do you do? That's all you gotta do. It's easy. It's timing. Shador. It's already written. It's already been determined months ago. They already been talked. Shador Sanders going at 3.
So Dayball saves his job, builds Shador. He has on the outsides who will he be playing with? Neighbors, Tracy, the running back. So they're gonna
Fire.
have to
Fire running back.
they're gonna have to need to, add some more weapons for him. Because like you
Yeah.
said, like you mentioned earlier, he's not gonna wow you with his armor, his attributes. So he's gonna be with Dayball, so that's proven. What he did with Josh Allen, what he did with a couple years with Danny J, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good fit for him? Do you think that's where you want
Hey, it
him?
don't even matter what he does on the field this first year. The ramifications he's gonna have off the field, he's gonna make the millions. It don't even
I
matter.
don't give a Dixon. Why do you care about that?
Because it matters. That's the part you want to neglect. It matters, fam. It matters in them picking him. It's a huge reason why they're picking him. So we
Or
can't not talk about the off the court, off the field shit. Can't just act like it's mad and just end the game. No, these are
okay,
humans. This
okay.
is
Let me
money. This
rephrase
is
this
a
question then.
business, fam.
Let me rephrase this question then. How do you think he fits on the field?
It's gonna be rough.
Okay.
It's gonna be rough. You got Malik, and you got Tracy, but I think that first year is gonna be pretty tough. But I think he's the type to make immediate change. I think he'll have them looking better than last year immediately.
Talking it out because I really haven't thought about it until it actually happens. Thinking it out now, him being with Dayball, Neighbors is a great option. Neighbors did pretty damn good on his rookie year with, who was throwing to him. If he is the player you say he is, I think it sounds like a good fit.
Sounds like a good fit on and off the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, they also need everything else. They need weapons. They need O line. They need D line. I know you got Lawrence there, but you need to help give. I mean, did you notice Brian Burns last year? No. So that's unfortunate. They need
Yeah.
help everywhere, but it starts with the quarterback.
For sure.
Number 2, Browns. We both know that Watson's not going to be there this year. Messed up his knee again. They're got to move on from him at some point. It's not going to be this year. It's going to be probably the next 2 or 3 years because they're going to have to pay him everything unless they
How
just
many
pay him to
years
go
they
away.
owe him, fam?
I think it's like still 3 years. But some in his contract, it's, just like any other NFL contract.
So you don't think they get a quarterback here?
I think they have to try to.
They
think you
have to
start
get a
planning.
quarterback here. If
You have to
Cam or
plan.
Shador's there, they have to.
You have to plan for a quarterback. Watson's not your guy. It sucks that you're paying him that, but he's not the guy.
Just bite the bullet at this point. You already fucked up. Move
Just
on.
take that I fucked up. Move on. Move forward. Garrett wants to leave, so they're going to have to try to get an edge rusher later in the draft, some sort of D line. You got a couple of okay, with Denzel Ward. You got a couple
If
of
they're
okay,
trying to get a D line though, they're gonna have the D linemen of the draft waiting right there.
of course, of course.
But I
So
don't
maybe
think I feel like they need a quarterback. Fuck that. If I'm in charge, I'm getting a quarterback. I'm tired of this shit.
I mean we saw what it looked like with Kevin Stefanski, with the talent that they had behind center, and look how that looked. It
Yeah.
was terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of this shit. I need a quarterback. Get the Sean out of here. Get the Masseuses out of here. I need a quarterback.
So other than quarterback, they also need offensive weapons. Bradley Chubb is not going to be there, so they're going to run with Ford for a little bit and probably get a running back later in the draft.
Shout out
And
my boy Jerry Judy. He was
and
balling.
yep,
Ball last year.
and yeah, and just some sort of replacement for Garrett, some sort of super impactful defender. If it's in the draft and free agency, but
He's not out of there yet though. He just demanded a trade, but he's not out of there yet.
do you think he gets traded?
It's tough to trade a superstar like that. It's
Of
really
course,
hard.
of course. Going to the first pick in the draft, the Titans.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
From what you're saying, I'm assuming that you think Cam Ward goes here right
Gotta
away.
go Cam Ward. This is the obvious choice, Tennessee.
Yeah,
You
I think
got
this is one
Mr.
you can't.
Mayo, Mr. fucking fuck up, Mr. Meme at Will Levis, and I was a Will Levis guy, pre NFL. But nah, you gotta move on. You're in the best position you've ever gonna be. Number one overall pick. Gotta get Cam Ward right here.
So this is one of those picks that you just don't overthink, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I know Travis Hunter's a once in a generation, but this is football NFL where quarterbacks change teams, not
Yeah,
corners.
yeah.
So no one's saying that, Travis Hunter isn't the best overall player in this draft, but is he the most important piece to my team that's going to make me a contender? No. Come here, Cam.
I know they have Justin Simmons on the defensive side, a couple other players that are worth mentioning, but they need to focus on offense. They got Ridley last year. He looked obviously
Yo, they were pretty good defense last year.
he
Despite
looked
being
mis
trash, pretty solid
yeah.
defense, Tennessee last year.
They didn't hold up a lot of yards. I think they were one of the least given up yards last year. Focus on the offense. You got an offensive coach. Focus on the offense and take Ward for sure. Last thing I want to ask you, what do our Miami Dolphins do?
Feel like you need a defensive guy.
Go defense, D line?
I don't think you need a D line though. Maybe like secondary.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't have any safeties right now.
Yeah, secondary piece. I would like that. We
Okay.
just drafted a D line last year, so I don't want to. I don't like doing the same position twice in a row. Yeah, I would say get a secondary piece. Most likely Holland's gonna be gone too.
Yeah, he's done so. Yeah, I agree. I think they're looking at a player in South Carolina. I think he's a free safety, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
But I think the direction they should go in is offensive line. I think they get another
That would be the
possibly.
next best choice.
I think you get a
I think our O
tackle.
line is pretty decent, so that's why I was like,
I think you get a tackle, and if he's big enough and he's more agile enough, you can move him to guard and flip flop him, have him be interchangeable. But I think the Dolphins go in the draft heavy on the in the trenches with D line and O line, and then they try to get a safety. Like you mentioned, free agency they have to go after. They have to overpay for a backup quarterback, which you have to do at this point. Greer and McDaniel are gonna have to save their jobs this year. So I can see a lot of
they're
they're
both
gonna
on the
make
hot seat this year. You're saying?
yeah, they're gonna have to make some really smart moves. I think they have 8 or 9 picks. So they're gonna have to hit at least a starter on at least four of those players. So much has to happen for for this season to go right because we have to sign over 30 players. It's going to be a huge difference in team, and they have to save their jobs. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do or ruin our year next year.
Yeah.
That's it, Chicho. Anything else you want to add to NBA, NFL? You want to bring up?
Nah, fam. That was beautiful.
All right, man. Well, have a great day. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, share, and Chicho, I appreciate you. I'll see
Catch
you
y'all
later, bud.
next time.